Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this session we will learn about the ductile detailing of beam. You can see the figure given below, which shows the continuous beam. So we will design this beam for the ductile detailing, and we will also see the codal provisions, and we will proceed with the step-by-step procedure for ductile detailing of beam. So firstly, the codes required for the design, or the codes required for ductile detailing of beams are: first you need the IS 1390, 13920 2016, and IS 456 2000, and last you need SP 16. So let us start with the question. Here is the question. The question is: the RCC beam of rectangular cross section has to carry a live load which is distributed of 20 kilonewton per meter in additional to its own self weight and dead load of 25 kilonewton per meter. So here the distributed live load is given, which is 20 kilonewton per meter. Next, the dead load is also provided, so the dead load is provided 25 kilonewton per meter. So next, the maximum bending moment and shear force due to earthquake are 60 kilonewton into meter and 40 kilonewton. So maximum bending moment due to earthquake is provided as 60 kilonewton into meter, and maximum shear force due to earthquake is provided as 40 kilonewton. The beam has span of 6 meters center to center, and design the beam using the grade of concrete as M20 and grade of steel as Fe415. So the span of beam is 6 meters center to center, and the grade of concrete is M20 and the grade of steel is Fe415. So let us start with the solution. The first step you have to do is, the first step is for the dimension. So for dimension, or we can say to find the effective depth of the beam, first you have to use the formula L by D is equals to multiplication factor into simply supported beam. So for that you have to go to the page number 37 of IS 456 2000. From that you have to select the value or the ratio, basic value of span to the effective ratio for span up to 10 meters. So if there is a cantilever, you have to use the value 7. If there is a simply support, you have to use 20, and for continuous 26. So in our case the beam is simply supported beam, so we will use the value as 20. So the multiplication factor you have to assume between 0.5 to 0.6. So in this example I have selected 0.6. So L by D, so in our case the length of the beam is 6 meters, so 6000 mm divided by D into multiplication factor 0.6 into, as a simply supported beam, we will multiply 20. So we will have this small d, the value of small d as 545.45 mm. So if we have to round off, and I have make as 550 mm. So this we have found as small d, which is effective depth of the beam. So we will find now. Next we will add the cover and find the overall depth of the beam. So I have added 50 mm cover for the beam. So we will have the overall depth of beam as 600 mm. So in this we have found the effective depth and overall depth of the beam. So now we will find the width of the beam. So for width of the beam you have to go to the IS 13920 2016, page number 4, close number 6.1. In 6.1 it says factored axial load, factor axial compressive stress do not exceed 0.08 FCK. So here axial force should be, here it says axial force should be less than 0.08 FCK. Next what it says, in which the factored axial compressive stress exceeds 0.08 FCK. Okay, the clause number 6.1.2 says the beam shall preferable preferably have width to depth ratio of more than 0.3. So the beam width upon depth ratio should be more than 0.3, which is preferable. So next point, it says beam shall have width less than 200 mm. So beam shall have the width the beam should not have the width less than 200 mm. So beam should not have the width less than 200 mm. It should be more than 200 mm. And last, the beam shall not have depth, capital D, more than 1/4 of the clear span. So capital D should be less than 1/4 of the clear span. So here I have assumed the D, or we can say B, as width of the support as 300 mm. So in this we have calculated effective depth, overall depth of beam, and width of the beam. So next, second step we have to do is design moment. So the dead load is already provided, so we have to place the dead load as 25 kN per meter. Second, we have to add is self weight. So for self weight, what we will do, we will multiply the density of concrete into cross sectional area. So the density of concrete is 25 into cross sectional area is 600 into 300, so 0.6 into 0.3. So we'll have the self weight of the beam as 4.5 kN per meter. So the total dead load will be 29.5 kN per meter. And live load is already provided in the data, which is 20 kN per meter. So now next step we will do is we will find the moment due to dead load and moment due to live load. So first we will find moment due to dead load. So weight of dead load into L square by 8 for dead load. So the dead load is 29.5. So 29.5 into length 6 meters, which is already provided, 6 meter, and its square divided by 8. So the moment due to dead load will be 132.75 kN into meter. Similarly for the live load, so moment due to live load will be is equals to weight due to live load into L square divided by 8. So weight of live load is 20. So 20 into length is 6 meters divided by its square and divide by 8. So we will have the value of moment due to live load is equals to 90 kN into meter. Similarly, we have to find the shear force. So we will find shear force for due to dead load and shear force for the live load. So shear force for dead load, WL by 2. So the dead load is 29.5 kN per meter. So 29.5 into L is equals to 6 divided by 2. So we will have shear force as 88.5 kN. Similarly, we will find for the live load. So for live load, we will use the value of live load as the 20 into the length as 6 divided by 2 is equals to 60 kN. And the moment due to earthquake and shear force due to earthquake are provided into the data, already has been given, which is 60 kN into meter as a moment due to earthquake, and 40 kN which is provided in the data as a shear force. So here it is a mistake, there will be only kilonewton. So these two values are already provided into the data. So further, for next, what we have to do, so next step is for the load combination. For load combination, you have to go to the page number 68 of IS 456-2000, table number 18, which provides the value of partial safety factor for loads. In this, we have to observe these two load combinations, which have been highlighted in black box. For the first load combination is dead load plus wind load, and the second combination is dead load plus live load plus wind load. So please must read this note. Note says that while considering the earthquake effect, we have to change the wind load to the earthquake load. So whenever wind load comes, we have to substitute as it with the earthquake load. So here the combination will be dead load plus earthquake load, and here it will be dead load plus live load plus earthquake load. So these two combinations we will use, and for the dead load plus earthquake load we will use the limit state of collapse as 1.5, and for second load combination we will use the limit state of collapse as 1.2. So like this we have made the load combination 1.5 into dead load plus 1.5 into earthquake load, and second 1.2 dead load plus 1.2 live load plus 1.2 earthquake load. These combinations are for the moment. So first we will place the values for the first combination of this. So we will place 1.5 into dead load. So value of dead load we will use from here, moment due to dead load. This value will be used 132.75. so here 132.75 plus 1.5 due to earthquake load. So due to earthquake load we will use MEQ. So 60 we will use 60 kilonewton meter. So you have used 60 kilonewton. So we have found the answer as 289.125 kilonewton into meter. Now we will use the second combination, 1.2 dead load plus 1.2 live load plus 1.2 earthquake load. So 1.2 the dead load is 132.75 plus the live load. So the live load we will use as 90 kilonewton into meter. So we will have used 90 kilonewton into meter, and the earthquake load. So the earthquake load we will use as the 60 kilonewton into meter. So we have found the value as 339.3 kilonewton into meter. So from these two combinations we have to use the maximum value as the MD, which is the the maximum moment. So the maximum moment value is we have the maximum value of the moment as 339.3 kilonewton into meter. So by using this value we will find the ratio of MD upon BD square. So we will place the value of MD over here and we'll convert into Newton into mm. So we'll multiply it by 10⁶ divided by B, which is the width of the beam, which is 300, into effective depth, which is 550, and its whole square. So we have found the ratio as 3.74, which is greater than 2.76. So the design will be as per W beam. If the ratio comes less than 2.76, then we have to design as per single beam. So in our case there is a doubly beam. So as for the doubly beam we have to provide main reinforcement at bottom as well as for the top. So we will provide reinforcement at tension also, and at the top also. If singly comes, then we have to provide main reinforcement at bottom only, in the tension zone only, and we have to provide the minimum steel at the top as a anchor bar. So in our case the ratio of MD upon BD square is 3.74. So we will go to the page number 86, table number 50 of SP16, which will show the doubly reinforced section, and we will assume the ratio of D dash upon D as 1.10. So we will use the ratio as 0.10. So in our case the ratio of mu upon BD square is 3.74, which lies between 3.70 and 3.80. So in the ratio D dash upon D, the ratio of D dash upon D we will assume as 0.10. There is a two reinforcement, percentage of steel in tension and percentage of steel in compression. This percentage of steel we will interpolate. So here I have, this is for the percentage of steel in tension and this is for the compression. So we will interpolate and find the value for the percentage of steel in tension, which is 1.275%, and the percentage of steel in compression is 0.316%. Now by using this percentage in steel in tension and compression, we will find the area of steel. So area of steel in tension and area of steel in compression. So the area of steel in tension and compression can be found by using the formula as AST or ASC is equals to PT BD by 100, where B is width of the width of the beam, which is 300 mm, and the d is small d is effective depth, which is 550 mm. So by using this, we have found the area of steel in tension as 2074.05 mm square, and area of steel in compression as 521.4 mm square. Now we will provide the reinforcement. So for providing the reinforcement, we have to do number. So we have to find the numbers. So for finding the numbers, we have to do area capital AST upon small AST. Okay, so the capital AST is which we have obtained from this. So we will use, this is the capital AST divided by small AST. We have to assume the diameter of the bar. So I have assumed for the tension portion as 22 mm diameter. So the small AST is the area of the diameter, which means pi by 4 into 22 whole square. So I have found the number as 6 numbers. So I have provided 22 diameter, 6 numbers. So coming on to the area of steel in compression, the capital AST is 521.4 mm square, and the small AST is I have provided 16 diameter, so pi by 4 into 16 whole square. So found the number as 3. So in this we have found the in tension it will be 20 dia 6 numbers, and for the compression it will be 16 dia 3 numbers. So next step is to check for the shear. So for checking the shear, we have the value of VD. So for the value of VD, we have obtained the value of VD by the combinations of these two. So the value of VD, the value of VD is 226.2 kilonewton. So by this we will first find the tau V, value of tau V. So the value of tau V can be found by VD upon BD. So the value of VD is 226.2 kilonewton. We will convert into Newton, so into 10 raised to 3 divided by B into D. So B, the width of this beam is 300 into effective depth 550. So we have the value of tau V as 1.37 MPa, and the value of tau C. So the value of tau C is 0.6 MPa. So the value of tau C will find as per the table by using the percentage of steel. For this you can visit the video of one-way slab. By that video you can have the calculation for the shear check also. So in our case the tau V is less than, so the tau V is greater than tau C, so provide shear reinforcement. So in our case the tau V is greater than tau C, so we have to provide the shear reinforcement. So we have to provide shear reinforcement. So providing shear reinforcement, we need the spacing of the stirrups. So first we have to calculate the spacing of the stirrups. So the equation for vertical stirrups is provided in the IS 456 2000 page number 73, which says VUS is equals to 0.87 FY ASV D upon SV. So from that we have calculated the we have found the VUS formula over here, 0.87 FY ASV D upon SV. For that we will first find the value of VUS. So we will first find the VUS. So value of VUS will be founded by VUS is equals to VD minus tau C BD. So we have already the value of VD as 226.2 kilonewton, and the value of tau C is 0.6. We have the width of beam as 300, and the effective depth is the 550 divided by 100 divided by 1000. So we'll have the value of VUS as 127.2 kilonewton. We have divided by 1000 because to convert into the kilonewton. So by using this equation we will make this subjective to the SV, which is the spacing between the stirrups. So we will make this subjective to SV, and we have the first value for the spacing is 150 mm. There will be three conditions for the spacing. From that three conditions we have to take the maximum value for the spacing of the stirrups. So first condition is completed, which is SV is equals to 150 mm. So second condition is 300 mm, which or we can say the width of the depth, and the third condition is 0.75 into D. So from these three conditions, the maximum value we have obtained is 150 mm. So we'll provide two-legged 8 dia 150 mm center to center. For these stirrups we have to provide the minimum reinforcement only, so we will provide 8 dia, which is minimum diameter and two-legged. So here you can see the figure which shows the this is the stirrups, which is two-legged, one leg and two leg, which has the spacing of the 150 mm center to center. So we have completed with the shear reinforcement in the terms of vertical stirrups. Now the code says the minimum 2 bars of 12 at top and 12 at bottom should be there. The minimum percent of steel required is equals to 0.24 under root FCK divided by Fy. The maximum percentage of steel is equals to 2.5 percentage at exterior joint T and B bar. Anchor length L0 is equals to LD plus 10 dia minus 8 diameter. So the L0, which means anchor length, should be LD plus twice the diameter. These are the codal provisions which says the conditions and the applications of this. Now we have generally completed with the solution. We will just plot the figure. This is a continuous type of beam. So the stirrups, we have been calculated the spacing, which is 150 center to center. So first the stirrups should be start at a distance of 2D at the both of the support, at which starts at the distance of 150 mm center to center. These stirrups will be 150 mm. At the support, the length is the distance between these stirrups will be lesser. So for that there is a three conditions: D by 4, 8 times the diameter, and 100 mm. So by this from this you have to take the minimum value. So the minimum value is 8 times the diameter. One of the mistake I have made over here, from these three conditions we have to see the minimum value. I have said the maximum value, but there was a mistake. But you have to see the minimum value. So in our case the minimum value is 150 mm. So for that we have used the 150 mm over here. So we have provided, so the stirrups will start from the 50 mm from the support. So we will see the cross section. We will you can clear easily. So here the overall depth of the beam is 600 mm, effective depth is 550 mm, then the width of beam is 300 mm, and we have provided the bottom reinforcement as 22 dia 6 numbers, and top reinforcement as 3 numbers 16 diameters, and we have provided the stirrups as two-legged 8 mm diameter of 150 mm center to center. Here we have completed the design of or you can say ductile detailing of beam. Thank you for watching. Like, share and comment.